Okay, so the questions in your past papers, या फिर आपके जो questions आते हैं, the examiner usually gives you the percentage composition of each different type of atom in that compound, and the examiner expects you to, uh, come up with the empirical formula of that particular compound, right? So how do you determine the empirical formula from the percentage composition if you're given the percentage compositions of the atoms in that compound? So we'll just go over an example. Okay, I've done the calculation already using AI. So I'll just go over the calculation and explain you each step. Okay, so to calculate the empirical formula when you're given the percentage compositions, the first step, the very first step is to convert the percentages into grams, right? And then you convert the grams into moles. How do you convert the grams into moles? You just simply divide the grams by the molar mass of that atom, of that element, right? So just grams divided by the atomic mass. Say simple. So that's how you convert the grams to moles. And then you divide the smallest number of moles by all of those moles, right? And then you write the simplest whole number ratio. That is your empirical formula. We'll just visualize this example. Okay, so for example, if you have this question, so examiner usually gives you like the percentage compositions of each element in that compound, right? So this is a compound containing 40% carbon, 6.7% hydrogen, and 53.3% oxygen, right? So the very first step is to convert the percentages to grams, right? That was the first step. So the percentage composition of carbon was 40%, hydrogen 6.7%, and 53.3% oxygen. So we just write them down, right? So we in all of these calculations, we assume that we have 100 gram of that compound. Okay, जो भी compound है ना, which contains this carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, उसका हमारे पास 100 grams है, right? So if you want to calculate what part of that 100 grams is made up of carbon, so you just multiply the percentage composition of carbon, that is 40% with 100, you get 40 grams. That means if you have the 100 gram of that compound, of this compound right here, so you'll have actually 40 grams of carbon, right? Hydrogen जो है, it is 6.67 grams, ठीक है? That gives you 6.67 grams, and 53.33% of 100 grams gives you 53.33 grams of oxygen. Right, so this is the simple conversion of percentages into grams, right? Now, the second step is to convert these grams, all of these grams, into moles. Okay, and how do you convert grams into moles? You simply divide the grams by the atomic mass, right? So carbon, you want to get the moles of carbon. So you simply divide 40 by the atomic mass of carbon, that is 12, right? You can just get it from the periodic table. So 40 divided by 12, that gives you 3.33. Similarly, you do it for hydrogen, that gives you 6.62. And then you do it for oxygen as well, and that gives you 3.3, right? So that's how you calculate the moles. You convert the grams into moles. So that's step one and step two done. Now you have the ratio of moles, right? So we got carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Just ignore this, guys. ये पता नहीं क्यों करता है इस तरह से. So carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. So carbon के moles कितने हैं? 3.33, right? Hydrogen के moles are 6.62, right? And oxygen के moles जो हैं, they are 3.33 again, right? अच्छा, just tell me, इन सब में से सबसे कम मोल्स किसके हैं? कौन सा वाला है जिसके कम मोल्स हैं?
कार्बन और ऑक्सीजन।
हाँ, मतलब दोनों की सेम ही है. So basically 3.33 is the lowest number, right, of all of them. So what you do is you divide all of them by 3.33. ठीक है, सबको आपने 3.33 से डिवाइड कर देना है. Just divide all of them by the smallest number of moles, right? And this cancels out. This gives you 1. This cancels out. This gives you 2. This cancels out, gives you 1 again. So you get 1, 2, and 1. So the ratio of carbon to hydrogen to oxygen is CH2O, and that gives you the empirical formula of CH2O. So this is how you calculate the empirical formula when you're given the percentage compositions. Hope you guys understand. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.